What is up, everybody? It is Dirty and
DZAN. Welcome, everybody, to the Dirty and DZAN podcast. Today is Wednesday, August 11th, but for you, it is Friday, the 13th of August. Dirty, where you at? Glasses off.
I forgot something. Hang on.
Oh, unprofessional Dirty here. Oh, there it is. The patented middle finger. There it is. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm trying to get more creative for you guys.
Thank you so much for watching today. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel.
You guys, we put a lot of time and effort into this. Please just grace us with a like button. Please.
That's right. If you're watching
grace us with a comment.
Please.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
And don't forget to follow us on our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Dirty and DZAN apostrophe in DZAN. We are there. People, what's going on, Dirty? How you doing?
You caught me off guard with that question. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh,
I wasn't expecting a hard-hitting question right from the get. So, I'm doing good, brother. How are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. I'm on a hot roll. I'm on a fucking streak.
Okay.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into this because I'm going to tell you guys something. He's going to start talking all kinds of shit. Number one.
Yep.
He's full of shit.
Well,
no, he's full of shit. He knows goddamn good and well he's full of shit because we talked about this just a few minutes ago, and he knows goddamn good and well that out of the last 2 weeks, the entire fucking card, he's known 2 fighters.
Untrue. So, you are filling these people's heads with lies. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I think he's we'll
see how this pans out.
Extra salty.
We'll see how this pans out going forward. Because now I don't talk shit.
I am loving this.
Now he's talking shit, and I'm going to make him fucking pay dearly, and I'm not going to fucking relent. Know that.
See, I think it's all fun and games until Dirty starts talking like that.
Right.
And then I'm like, well, let's calm down. Look, UFC 265.
No, he's killing it, guys. He is killing it.
Dirty went 2-3. DZAN 5-0. Look, you could have just taken that picture that I posted and just went to the betting line and been like, look, bet this. This is what I want to bet. And then you would have won a shitload of money.
Here's the problem with that. Everybody that's watched this and that watched that have seen your past picks. You're going to have to forgive them for not doing that.
Look, Dirty has a great way of just bringing me down when I'm on cloud 9. So let's get into it. Gane versus Lewis. Look, what a fight. Gane kept the distance, stayed out of trouble when he was struck.
Perfect fight. Yep. Let's just cut to the chase. He fought a perfect fight.
Look, when he did strike, it was first. It was hard, like he came out of Cobra Kai. I believe that he stuck to the game plan 100%. Because that was such an amazing performance.
Good call on that. That's exactly
over one of the scariest men in that division who landed 3 fucking strikes the whole fight.
And hurt him.
4 if you count the ball kick.
But he hurt him.
Yeah, he did.
The one time.
Yeah.
He
hit him in the leg. He hit his body. And then the one punch. It fucking, and that's all Derek was saying too. I just need one. And he almost had it with just the one that he threw.
I think he needed more than one though.
Yeah, he did for sure.
That's the unfortunate reality for Derek.
But I think a lot of people learned how well-rounded Gane is, right? The weaponry that the man has.
But see, that's just it. And this is why DZAN picked him, because DZAN is he loves to follow the new thing
of the sport.
Yeah, that's what they're calling you. He's always ready to jump on the new thing. Always forgetting about the OGs. I don't do that. And it's always evident in his betting, in his picks.
Okay.
It's
you can
always
feel the
like
salt.
that.
Dirty. It's way too salty in here, please.
Is it really, or am I spitting truth? Am I
maybe a little bit
facts?
of both? Maybe a little bit of both, and I can't take it.
It's definitely weighted in me spitting facts here. But no, in all seriousness, that was a shit card. Yeah. And DZAN and I talked a little bit about this off camera, but I can't help but wonder if that's not why 267.
7, yeah.
Yeah, 267 is a freebie.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they probably sold 280 to 320,000 pay-per-views last weekend. But we knew that going into it.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen a card that lacking as much as that card was in a while. Usually the fight, the people that make these decisions, Sean Shelby and company, they usually do a really good job at piecing these things together better. But
I feel like we would feel a little bit differently if Amanda was on the card, though, because
of course
we have to think about that, right? Like,
I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. They lost Amanda in the last minute, right? The last couple days of the event, they lost Amanda Nunes. So
a couple days.
I get it, but this does feel like it's one of those fight nights that they hold for International Fight Week. Like, it's like this would be a freebie fight during a big event like International Fight Week,
and
where they're revving up to a big pay-per-view, And
I'm pretty sure we're nearing that time anyway, right?
I think they had it. International Fight Week was during the McGregor Poirier, I believe, but they usually have it. They usually have it in July. Yeah. So I think that's
okay.
I'm pretty sure that's when they did it.
Maybe it's a combination of nothing. Anyway, it's a tremendous card. But anyway, back to 265. Derek Lewis. He is such an anomaly. He's very unique. He's a unicorn.
No shit.
But he also fights like one. You just don't know what you're going to get.
You don't know what you're going to get. You really don't.
Sometimes he lets the hands go. And then sometimes you see a performance like Saturday. Now, DZAN and I both talked about this. We knew that Derek was going to try to wait him out a little bit because we also are keenly aware of Derek Lewis's gas tank.
Right.
And I think that was his game plan, and he stuck to his game plan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it created a knockout, a TKO.
No shit.
So
TKO.
You can't fight that way. You don't fight that way in the street. Worrying about your gas tank or whatever it was that kept him from letting his hands go.
He just couldn't get started too. Gon was doing a great job with those kicks. He was keeping the distance so well and running away when the danger came. He got out of the way. I mean, some people don't respect that that aspect of it, of them kind of dodging it, getting out of the way. But if you want to be world champion, this is what you got to do. And you got to recognize danger when it's there. And that's the part of yourself that you got to humble down a little bit as a fighter to know that when somebody else is in their realm, you got to get out of it. If that's not where you need to be technically. He did a great fucking job. And I think it's more so of how good Gon did than how bad Derek did. I think he just couldn't get started. He tried. It didn't go over well. He said he got eye poked and he was like, no, that was a punch. He got punched in the eye, bro. Yeah.
And it was a punch.
It was a solid punch.
But the good thing that came out of this is that we finally got to see Cyril Gane fight somebody of Derek Lewis's caliber.
Top of the tippity top for sure.
Yeah. Top
and
five
this is
fighter.
What Dirty said. This is what Dirty said he needed to see at a Cyril Gane. He needed to beat a Derek Lewis. And I think he did so in the best way possible.
100%.
Right.
It wasn't just a win. I mean, that was kind of a beating.
Yes.
On the Black Beast. That is not an easy accomplishment. We talk about this all the time about there's levels to this. We just talked, in the tough episode that you guys saw on Wednesday. We were surprised by Vincent after watching him in week 2.
Yeah.
The way he fought that fight. Now we understand he probably had a knee injury as well, but still it was his approach to the fight that lost him that fight.
Right.
And whereas with Derek Lewis, you're fighting the best of the best. This is a guy that knocked out Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. And it
Yep.
wasn't that fucking long ago. I don't know, man. And I'm about to go in a slightly different direction. And that's Derek Lewis. I think one of the two things is going to happen. I think he's going to have to switch coaches or camps or something to jar the system. When you go on a diet, and I'm currently dealing with this myself right now. That's why it's fresh in my mind. When you go on a diet and you lose a bunch of weight, you hit a wall. And each time you always hit these walls, and then you break through that wall, and then finally you hit the final wall, which is where I'm at right now. So I have to do sit-ups and
all the extra shit, right?
Push through it, because just my diet isn't going to get me there anymore. I'm past that point now. I need something to jar my system. So what do you do sometimes when you're dieting is you try a different food, right? Maybe this will change my structure or whatever. Derek Lewis needs to jar his training. Because even though it wasn't that long ago that he's fought some killers, that fight kind of exposed him. And I've talked about this many times, as has DZAN, about how there's like this, there's always a new fighter coming in, right? Showing you something new. And then it creates the space between somebody like Nate Diaz. Well, maybe Nate Diaz is not a good one, but say Carlos Condit.
Right.
Carlos Condit is never going to be anything more than what Carlos Condit is.
Right.
He's past that point in his life. Whereas now you've got guys that I wouldn't, as much as I love Carlos Condit, I'd never want him to face these guys, because these guys have changed their leaps and bounds ahead of where he was and where he is. Because that's all of the training that he had. I'm trying to make this as comprehensive as possible. I know what's in my head. With Carlos Condit, he trained with, these new innovative things when he was fighting at his prime, when he was 28 years old.
Right.
Whereas what 26, 28-year-olds are doing now is leaps and bounds ahead.
Right.
Scientifically speaking.
Right.
From where Carlos Condit was. So that now you have a Khabib Nurmagomedov. You have, well, he's retired, but I'm trying to use absurdity to illustrate a point.
Hamza Chimaev.
Hamza, maybe, but he's certainly a newer fighter.
Right.
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 So I think that Derek Lewis really needs to
get with it, right? He needs to shake it up, get
he
with
needs
it.
to fight, fight with somebody that is a little bit more on the cutting edge of training.
Right, right.
Does that make
yes? That makes perfect sense.
Okay,
it makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Co-main event: we had Aldo versus Munoz. You tell me now, Dirty. Aldo does not have a second win. Convince me I'm wrong.
No, I loved it, man.
Yes,
I was so happy for him.
Yes, close, but an amazing fight.
Amazing fight.
We all knew it was going to be a good fight, but goddamn, it was even better than I thought. It really was, with how close it was. Great fucking fight. I was
so fucking happy for him.
Yeah,
and he looked amazing. They both did. They both did.
He fucking hit his record. He did for significance in a 3-round fight, Dirty, versus his 5-rounder. Come on.
He's volumes about that fight.
He is like fine wine, aging over time. You know what I mean? The man is doing it right. I'm writing right now. I'm sorry, people.
No, but it's a fair point, because this is kind of what I was talking about. Jose Aldo he's made that transformation.
That is a perfect point. He is the perfect point of moving with the times, right?
You
of
can
adapting.
do it.
Yes, it can be done.
And that's why I say Derek Lewis needs to do that, because it shows Jose Aldo proved to you it can happen.
It can be done. Yep. In a different weight class. I mean, it's amazing. Great performance by the King of Rio. I was so happy about that. Now let's talk about Luque and Chiesa. I had Luque, but goddamn, I did not have it like that. What a beautiful and tight Darce choke.
You know what's funny though is that last week before we made our picks, I was picking Luque and he was picking Chiesa.
Chiesa, yes.
And we switched them
because I told myself, no, you're doing it with your heart again, DZAN. You said you weren't going to do it, and ever since I've been doing it with the old brain here, a little bit of a streak, a little bit. All right, beautiful.
I can't
but listen,
I can't
Luque,
fucking wait.
But that's why I'm getting.
Dude, I'm going to fucking second I
up. Can.
I'm going to ruin your life.
I should say now.
I'm going to make you not want to get out of bed.
Wow. I'll say now that there's no fights this Saturday, so I'm saved for a week at least. But Luque surpassed Tony Ferguson for the most Darce chokes in the UFC now with 4. He is now the new crowned Darce King. Great job, Vicente Luque. And to get it on such talented...
Hang on a second, though. That is not his thing. That's what's amazing about it.
Right.
That we can't just slide past that.
It's only 4 of 18 finishes or 19 finishes.
That's his thing. That's his thing. He's a striker. He's a kicker. I mean, I'm pretty sure he got Woodley out. So
the last Darce choke he had was Woodley. I mean, but this kid is fantastic. But you're right. It's not his only thing.
It's not even. It's not a thing. That's what's crazy. It's not even a thing for him. I mean,
right.
Obviously it is, but that's not what got him to where he is.
Let's put it this way. It was a plus 1,600 for Luque to submit Chiesa in the first round. That's how out of character it kind of is, right?
Right.
That's how we can
that illustrates it best. Yeah. Hang on 1 second, guys, please.
All right, Tisha Torres and Angela Hill, the worst voice in the UFC besides Amanda Hebas. Now, come on, my girl, the little tornado.
You guys, I just pull back the curtain a little bit here. My man DZAN got a little thing for Tisha.
I love me some Tisha Torres. I love Tisha Torres. Ever since she was in the Tough House, the very first Tough season with the girls, season 20, I believe. Fucking love Tisha Torres. She put on a clinic against Angela. Gosh, she is ready for the next big name. She has only lost to the elite.
She hurt Angela so bad, I think Angela's going to talk normal now.
That might have fixed some things. That might have. Yeah, it was such a great performance.
She'd have been good.
Tisha did a great fucking job, man. I'm really excited for her.
Clinic is the proper word.
And then the first fight to open up the main card, we had Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny. Was I the only one that saw it unanimous for Yadong? I don't know how they judged it a split. I thought he won it handedly. Maybe I'm just seeing it through the fanboy eyes of Yadong, but
nope. I got to tell you, I was absolutely stunned.
Me too. Whenever they said by split, I was like, oh God, no. I couldn't believe it.
I could not believe my ears.
Yeah.
And that is saying something.
Yeah.
Because I have been stunned many times by judges. So now it's become routine. So it's hard to stun me anymore. That one stunned me.
I almost feel like some of them are trying to make up for the other judges that don't focus so much on takedowns and control, that they overpoint some of that.
There's clearly
I can't think of any other thing as to why that was a split decision. I was like baffled. I really was, what the fuck? But nevertheless, it was a little bit of a weak card. Like we said, it did sound like more of a fight night on International Fight Week, but it was a great card when you look at just the fights themselves. Fantastic fights.
That's why I didn't want to judge it too harshly at first before watching the fight, because there's been so many times where you look at a card and you're like, and then you watch it and it's like, dude, what the fuck? You know?
Yes.
But yeah, this one didn't pan out that way. At all.
Right. But it definitely panned out perfectly for Ciryl Gane. Let's move on. Ciryl Gane made the men's top 15 pound for pound list that just got updated, and I like to share it with Dirty. You ready, Dirty?
Yeah, I'm ready. But I gotta say, that's a little too soon for me.
I 100% agree. I will say, all the Khabib fanboys, I will let you know now, he is off the list, rightfully so. Here we go. Number 15, Justin Gaethje. Number 14, the new interim heavyweight champion, Ciryl Gane. Number 14. I mean, I guess if you're going to put him on any list, he should maybe be 15 if you were going to put him on the list. But number 13, Petr Yan. 12, Robert Whittaker, baby. Legit. Number 11, Brandon Moreno. Number 10, Charles Oliveira. Number 9, our boy Max Blessed Holloway. Number 8, Stipe Miocic. Number 7, Jan Blachowicz. 6, Dustin Poirier, now with those 2 wins over the greatest of all time.
Got any news on Stipe?
What is he joining a different fight now? I heard that Dana said that he agreed to the John fight, but it's still in John. Look, he agreed to the John fight last year, Dana. He's just trying to pressure John again to get another fight after John tweeted champ 2022. He's sticking to his guns and Dana doesn't like it. That's what that fucking was. He likes to use Stipe as a bargaining chip and Stipe doesn't like that. So he's like, I'm looking at other fucking places. Fuck you.
Right.
Number 5, Francis Ngannou, baby. Number 4, Alexander Volkanovski. 3, Israel Adesanya. 2, Kamaru Usman. And number 1, Johnny Bone Jones, baby. Johnny Bone Jones. I agree with everything on the list except for maybe Ciryl Gane.
I don't like John Jones being on there. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're killer. Don't kill the vibe right now.
He hasn't shout out to K-Dot. Yeah,
I know he hasn't fought since 2019.
Exactly.
This is the men's pound for pound list. You put anybody up there against Jones, I'm sorry. They don't.
We
it's
can
not deserve
say
it.
that. We can say that, DZAN, but is
champ 2022, Dirty. Come on.
Okay.
Champ 2022.
But this is 2021.
Can we move on? Can we move on? It's a great list. Who would you see number 1? Who's number 1 for you, Dirty?
Not John Jones.
No,
fuck no.
Who is your number 1?
You gotta be in the fucking league at least. Kamzat. What?
I was thinking maybe you were gonna say Francis. I thought maybe you were saying Francis, and I would say maybe. I would not disagree with Kamaru's spot at all being number 2. I think he fucking deserved that.
I think he should be number 1.
He deserved that. Oh, okay. I think that would be the only one that I could see, because right now, as it stands, you're absolutely right. For the top active right now fighting,
I would have John Jones around 9.
Oh God! All right, we're moving on. Jacare Souza announces his retirement.
Your life. I'm just beginning.
Announces retirement.
Fuck Holly Holm. Fuck John Jones. Fuck Carlos Condit. Fuck everybody in Albuquerque.
Wow! They'll be dissing the Duke, Dirty. Look, Jacare hasn't won since 2018 against Chris Weidman.
No, he's been complaining because there's nothing to put on social media over there. So I'm giving all kinds of fodder here.
Thanks for all the gold. I love it. I love it. There's going to be plenty of content up on there this week. How do you feel about this? I feel it's right?
Yeah, I do.
I feel it's right. I mean, 4 losses in a row, but again, it's not like he's been on this down streak of like 6 and a couple of them were no names. We're talking Jack Hermanson, Kevin Holland. We're talking about good fucking fighters in that top 10. It's Jan Blachowicz was one of his 4 losses. So it's not anything bad. I think that this is the right thing for him going out. Look, he's 26-10. It's still one hell of a record in MMA. Right off into the sunset, Jacare. I'm down with that.
And since I don't know if you're planning on talking about this one here, but DZAN is aware, but I've always had a thing for Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I know she's not everybody's thing, but there's just something about her Dirty likes. And it might start on the backside. But anyway, yeah, we heard that she's sounds like she's kind of leaning towards retirement.
Considering retirement.
Hope she doesn't, but
I hope that it's just, she's just really upset with the loss, loss
and
for
that
her.
happens. We've seen that movie many, many times, right?
Right. Yeah, we have, when they're thinking this might be it. And then they're right back at it. They get rejuvenated. Once she sees family again, she gets around her friends. She gets back to training.
Right.
Yeah. I think she might feel a little bit differently. I hope so.
I really hope so. Cause she's an absolute doll.
And not only that, but she's still a top contender. It's not like she's lost a whole lot, of her oomph. You know what I mean? She still got it.
Yeah. But as much as I love her, and DZAN, you guys have heard me and DZAN mention this a million times, but as much as I love her, I can't help but wonder if the game's not passing her by too.
Right.
That she didn't evolve like
with the times. Yep.
Other fighters have, that fight with Joanna, I think it was UFC 202 ish. That broke her. And she just hasn't been quite the same since, in my opinion. So,
all right, let's get into some fight announcements, ladies and gentlemen. Sean fucking Strickland already has another fight lined up. He will fight Luke Rockhold for UFC 268, November 6th, just a week removed from the free pay-per-view. Derek Brunson is also official to fight Darren Till on September 4th, fight night. That's going to be a fun fight for Till. Let me tell you right now, that's going to be a fun one. What are your thoughts on those two?
You give me yours.
I'm excited for the Derek Brunson Darren Till fight. I always love watching Darren Till fight. He's one of my favorite fighters, and I think that this is a good name and an easy fight for Darren Till. That's how I feel about it. Sean Strickland, love Sean Strickland, and I think the same. It's going to be a good name, and I honestly think that it might be a good fight for Sean Strickland to win. I like Luke, but Luke has always had one big weakness, and he's been exposed several times, and he still has not adjusted. In my opinion, he just hasn't. Dominic Reyes, Michael Bisping, he just hasn't adjusted. And I don't see a difference when he's up against a striker like Sean Strickland. That's how I feel.
That's fair. I was asking you first because I'm so torn on this one. But Darren Till, isn't he that same guy that we've been talking about? You don't know what you're going to get.
Kind of, with his last bit of performances, kind of. But he's also one of the most transparent fighters you'll ever meet.
Hang on. Let's not get this way. I love Darren Till. He's one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah.
But, I think it's important, even as a fan of somebody, to be honest with yourself, know, and when you do an honesty check on Darren Till, you got to wonder if he's evolving at the level of everybody else. I think so. I believe that he is.
Yeah.
But I think that this is a fight to expose that one way or the other. I don't think there's any way around that for him here. He can't hide in this fight. And I'm not saying he's ever hidden in a fight, but there's been one or two times when I just feel like he didn't show up to the level that he's capable of showing up.
Right.
And kind of like Derek Lewis, let your hands go. And if he does that and he fights a smart fight, I absolutely believe that he can get this done.
Yeah.
Again, there's levels.
Well, see, and that's a perfect point. There is levels. And I think that before the UFC tried to push him a little too quickly with the Tyron Woodley matchup right out the gate, it was too fast. They had to downscale him a little bit, and they learned some lessons. Both, the matchmakers, Darren Till learned some lessons. And I think since then, he's been on the right trajectory at the right time for his career. And I think that he is at the right time to make this kind of a fight with a name like Derek Brunson. Just like they try to do, honestly, just like they try to do with Kevin Holland. They tried to do that with Kevin Holland. Hey, you just had this amazing knockout of Jacare Souza. Let's put you up there with another big name that's actually a good contender. And this could put you in title fight contention. And he didn't show up.
You have a Sean O'Malley that is being coddled, which we don't like.
We don't like that shit. Nope.
So I want to see if you're ready for that move, then make that move. But let me back up here just a smidge and do a bit of a comparison here. Baseball and hockey. Mm-hmm. There's two sports where you can hide a player. In baseball, you can send them to AAA, and you could just leave them there the whole season, knowing that you've got an absolute beast, right? But you can do it to keep other teams from seeing this.
Right.
And in hockey, and I'll personalize this a little bit more because that's what's happening in Detroit right now. Steve Yzerman has been hiding players. Not this year, but I think next year he's going to unleash all of them at once. And it's going to blow people's wigs back. It will. But you can't do that in football. If the guy's ready to play,
they got to go.
Throwing him in with the killers.
Yeah, you damn right. Yep.
If he's not ready to play, he's not playing.
On the bench, baby.
Period.
You're riding that bench, baby. Yep.
Right. So in the UFC, we're watching kind of both of them happening. There's Sean O'Malley, but there's another one we just talked about.
Was it Hamzat?
Yeah.
Hamzat. Yeah.
Hamzat.
Which again, I think now they're on the right route with Hamzat. Jingling.
Absolutely. But
I think that's the right call.
Sean O'Malley.
Right.
And that's the difference is now we're ready to throw Hamzat, whatever, into the fire.
We're finally ready. Yeah. Let's get him in there.
Murderers.
Yep.
Versus Sean O'Malley's fighting the number
debuting person, and then
or a guy
not even a 10 guy yet, right?
In the UFC.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about just more than one. I mean,
right.
Just all of his fights, really.
Yeah.
You think about it. I mean, they've coddled him to no end, and it's embarrassing, quite frankly. They did, anyway, I know we understand why they're trying to build his brand, but that, in my opinion, that's not their responsibility.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
And
the UFC does take that responsibility on with certain fighters that have the look, the personality, that have what they think is the total package. That's when they invest. Okay, now they're worth the payout. Let's do some investing. They don't do that to all the fighters. If they did that to all the fighters, we'd have a 200 roster instead of almost 600 fighters in the UFC. That's not the case. So I think that we're seeing a lot of that too, but to your point, they need to get this shit together. And if they're going to market him like a killer, then he needs to face killers.
Right.
100%. Speaking of killers, let's talk about the president of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and how he brought on officially Chad Mendes out of retirement, joins BKFC for a multi-fight deal, and will debut in October at 155 pounds. That's official. What's not official is his opponent. And what's also not official is the other fighter he's trying to bring, and in parentheses, definitely trying to fight Chad Mendes, Diego Sanchez. Look at Dirty. Look at that face. That's the face of disappointment.
Breaks my heart. It literally breaks my heart.
Let me get this out real quick.
I love Diego, man. I don't want this.
Now, the president said, it's funny enough, he said Diego has to pass all medical protocols before I sign him because of his past. But once he passes all of those, I'm signing him. And then he said, and I quote, I don't even want to tell you the crazy matchup I have planned. Hello, motherfucker. We know who you just brought on. We know what the matchup's going to be. You just brought on Rachel Ostovich just so she could fight Paige Van Zant. You're doing the same thing, my man. That's what's happening. And I can't, and I'm a little bit here for it. I'm just a little bit here for it. Just a little bit. Dirty, give me your thoughts.
I don't like it. I don't like it. That's simple. I mean, I don't know. Somebody's got to grab Diego Sanchez by the fucking lapel and shake him. Please, somebody out there.
Mm-hmm.
For the love of God, man. He's clearly not in his right mind. That's my opinion.
Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. We have Khamzat Chimaev. Speaking of Khamzat Chimaev, apologizing to Khabib. How about that? It's the right thing to do. It's the political move to do.
Is it the right thing? It's definitely the political thing.
It's the right thing if he wants to have success in the UFC when it comes to his training, his nutrition.
So you think it's good that
background?
He's got to go kiss the ring?
I think it's good for his career, but I don't like it personally because I don't like Khabib and I don't like Ali Abdelaziz. But I will say that Ali is one of, if not the best manager in the UFC because he does wonders for all of his fighters. And if there's one thing Dirty and I love the most, it's the fighters. It's what we're here for. It's why we watch it. I love him in that aspect. I won't even say love. God, I like him in that aspect of it. But I do think it's good for Khamzat because I also really like Khamzat. And if I want Khamzat to be successful, this is kind of what he needs to do so that he has that kind of backing, not only financially, but with his people back home.
I couldn't do it.
He just took a fat piece of humble pie and he ate it up.
No, that was a shit sandwich. There was no pie. There was nothing taste worthy in there.
Yeah.
It was pure diarrhea going down his fucking gullet. That's what that was.
Yeah. Moving on.
I can't twist that in any good way. Fucking pisses me off.
We touched on it a little bit, but real quick, before we move on to music, let's talk a little bit about UFC 267. And I got a tweet from our good pal, Ariel Hawani, who says UFC officially announces that UFC 267 will happen in Abu Dhabi on October 30th. It's the non-pay-per-view card headlined by Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira and Sterling versus Jan 2. Two title fights, and they will air in the afternoon beginning 11 a.m. Eastern.
I didn't realize that.
Wow. Lot to unpack there. This is one hell of a freebie. One hell of a freebie. This has not been done since UFC 138, I believe, where they had to air it on Spike or something like that. But it's not really done, ladies and gentlemen. You get fight nights for free. You rarely get a title fight unless it's like a fight night during International Fight Week, like we talked about earlier.
Well, and even when you do get a title fight, which they're extremely rare, there's only been a couple.
It's like interims, right? For the fight nights, right? It's interims.
And then they're usually only one.
Right.
So
we got two title fights. The light heavyweight championship title, which is in legacy been one of the best titles out there. And then you got the rematch for the bantamweight, which I really think Dana is really just trying to get over and out of his fucking head. Maybe that's why it's free. He's like, you motherfuckers don't deserve pay-per-view points. So this one is going to be free. You never know. I think I just cracked it, ladies and gentlemen. Dana ain't giving pay-per-view points to Sterling. He's like, Sterling, you didn't deserve it. You don't deserve the pay-per-view points. I know you ain't going to be champion after tonight. So you
may very well have hit the nail on the head there.
I think that might have been it. So nevertheless, it's huge. Everybody can enjoy that one for free. That is amazing as well. So
at 11
on there for doing that. At 11 a.m. Eastern.
8 a.m. for you.
No, I'm a little bit ahead. They're the earliest. So it'll be 1 for me. It'll be 3 for you. 5 p.m. main card probably for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got
5 p.m. main card for you. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good card. It's going to be one hell of a card, and everybody gets to watch it for free. So fuck yeah, why not? What else you got before we move on to music, Dirty?
Well, nothing. In the interest of time and worthiness. So just let's move on.
Music topics today, ladies and gentlemen. No update on the Royce da 5'9" Lupe Fiasco beef. Do not expect much else to come from this. Royce did confirm he will not be responding. Then he got a little too personal. And I don't know. It's a weird relationship with these two guys
That
when they
is
do have a
very
podcast
interesting.
together. I don't know.
I
don't know. I don't know what else to say.
Very, very interesting.
I will say, however, I think we are so much closer to getting Slaughterhouse out of retirement. So I'm happy about that. Let's just say that. But I do have an update to the Tory Lanez and Cassidy beef that we talked about last week, where Cassidy said Tory Lanez was biting his rhymes. He came out with a song called Perjury, where he talked all kinds of personal shit to Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez came out with the song called When It's Dark. Not only did Tory Lanez release a song, he released a whole music video. Let me give it to these rappers nowadays. Their beef standard, the bar is just getting higher and higher.
Yeah.
I love it. He put a whole production into this thing, and it's a damn good music video. It's a good music video. I was so surprised. He pulled out the Cassidy flow right out the gate. In the very first verse, he sounded exactly like Cassidy. It's
Really?
got to be intentional. And then at the end of the verse, he says, I steal your flow, and what? I mean, the diss track in and of itself, it was pretty general until you get to the second verse. Then he started getting really personal. And he said, I'll leave Cass's body in the casket that his career is in. Your prime versus my prime. There's no comparison. And then he said, I want to address this with everybody who found this line a little weird. He said, you was with R. Kelly in the hotels. We should flame you up. Now, I want to say this is not in reference to the R. Kelly tapes. This is in reference to a song that Cassidy did with R. Kelly titled Hotels. So it's a pun on their track together, as well as just making a little slight dig at R. Kelly and a possible thing with, you know what I mean? It was just linking the two. That's all it was. So
hang on 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
No worries. No worries. Look, I definitely felt like Tory Lanez could have went a little harder, but I believe that he's expecting a round two. So he doesn't want to blow out the gas tank in round one. But just as I thought, round one goes to Tory. I mean, it's what I expected. And I only expect him to go harder. I really felt like the first verse was very general. The second verse, he went at him a little bit. So I think that was a tap. That was I heard your shit. This is my direct response in this pocket, in this verse. But he almost made it feel like he was going to do this music video anyways and just threw Cassidy in there as a side note. It's a real swag play. I like the play. It's a really good play in a beef. But if there is a round two, I expect Cassidy to say some really off color shit. And then I expect Tory to body him. I really think that on the next one, we're going to see a lot less of the Cassidy flow and more, a lot less taunting and more of a direct attack. So we'll see.
I think it's worthy to point out, completely off topic, but we have yet to address this and we forgot to last week. So we made the comment, we're going to give you our picks, our predictions for different aspects of the NFL season, who's going to have the number one offense, number one defense.
Oh, right.
Things like that. And we were going to do that last week. The reason we decided not to do that, but we never addressed it with you guys, so we wanted to make sure we did that. But the reason we didn't is because there's so many injuries that can happen in preseason. So we thought we'd be a little better off waiting at least a week or two out from the season at the earliest. So that way we can give you, a prediction that's going to have some kind of value.
A little more weight to it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if Zeke gets hurt for Dallas, that clearly changes things. If Ben gets hurt in Pittsburgh, that changes things. If Brady gets hurt in Tampa, it changes things. So, we want to make sure that we give you something legit instead of just kind of rushing it through. So we got a lot more top 10 stuff.
That's right.
We're going to be getting to our top 10 favorite songs, rap, hip hop, rock, metal, everything. We're going to get into these guys. And we've taken a little bit of time off, but quite frankly, we wanted to save some of those for, we get building some subscribers up a little bit more, just to make it a little more fun, a little more interactive. Again, we're going to ask that you guys please like and share, excuse me, like, subscribe, and comment. You can share too.
This is a good thought. Comment down below on different ideas that you guys would like to also see from the channel. I know we do a lot of the news updates on the podcast and stuff, but Dirty and DZAN, we can do whatever the fuck we want. So drop us down some ideas on what you want to see. Maybe some just standalone content.
Obviously, we don't have a big machine behind us promoting us. Which so many have now. If you're part of Barstool Sports or all of these podcasting companies, Gas Digital, they buy these people out, and basically you end up working for them. Right. They're controlling the narrative. We're never going to do that. Right. We have no interest in doing that. This is for us and for you. And we don't want to kind of pigeonhole ourselves into something that we're not interested in doing. So, we don't have that kind of promotion behind us either. That's the benefit of doing that. Right. So change that algorithm and YouTube and all of that stuff. The only way for us to do it is by organic growth. And it comes from you guys. So, and the more you comment, the more you like, the faster we can grow the channel. And I promise you guys have my word on this. We get to 1,000 subscribers. It's going to be a very, very special day on this channel because we're going to be doing a giveaway, and DZAN's not even aware of that yet.
I'm not aware of this, but I'm excited.
But
I'm fucking excited.
That'll come out of Dirty's pocket. So, but we're going to do a giveaway at 1,000 subs, because at 1,000 subs, that allows us to start monetizing the channel and, things like that. So just please do that for us so we can keep doing this for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, before I move on to the singles of the week, I did want to note, of course, we know that Nas's new album, King's Disease 2, did come out. I tend, when I know that Dirty is going to be doing a reaction to an album, I save it as well.
He doesn't want to skew my vision of it. Yeah. And
I'll save it as well for myself, and I'll watch it when he does his. So with that being said, I did absolutely listen to the Eminem track. I can't not. I did hear that track. However, I did not listen to the rest of the album, so I cannot give you my thoughts on the album, but I will be delivering you my thoughts when we get Dirty's thoughts when he listens to the album as well. So that will be coming. Rest assured on that. Now, singles of the week. I just said Nas featuring Eminem and EPMD, EPMD 2. I'm not saying shit about the song for Dirty. Let's move on. Next track, King ISO, Hypocrite. Strange music is taking over the game in 2021. Tech 9 has all kinds of killers on his roster, and they are crushing it with music. King ISO delivered one hell of a song with Hypocrite.
That's good to hear.
You guys, King ISO is one of those rappers
I had a song called Hypocrite.
Dirty's got a song called Hypocrite.
It was about my brother-in-law, by the way, but I digress.
King ISO usually is a fast rapper. He's usually one of those that is hypersonic fast, almost distasteful.
What do they call that? Michael Frito brought that.
They're called choppers. So
choppers,
they're called choppers. They chop it up, and that's mainly slang for the Midwest flow.
So that's what West Coast choppers is then.
Yes, that's what West Coast choppers is, or Midwest choppers and worldwide choppers.
Right.
That's what that is. And that's what they call them in the Midwest.
Worldwide, by the way. Sorry about that. Yeah.
But they do have Midwest choppers is the first one, with just the Midwest rappers, because that's where that kind of flow really got its legs, was that fast flow within the pockets. I digress. King ISO usually does that. Okay. This one It was a song, full production. He sung. He had a message to it. Great substance. It for any of those dads out there that struggle to see your kid for whatever reason in life, baby mama or whatever the fuck. He just relates to so many people. This is one of those songs. Really fantastic song. Last song for singles of the week. YouTube rapper KSI did the biggest YouTube move of all time. He did a song with Lil Wayne.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And it is so fucking good. I'm digging it. I'm assuming you heard about it, or did you get somebody to ask you to react?
It's just a no-brainer. You either go to M or Lil Wayne.
Right. This was huge. What a great song. This is the epitome of a hip hop song. Lil Wayne just singing like it was crazy.
You have
to me.
auto-tune on?
Oh, of course. Dirty. Come on. Yes, of course. Of course. It's hip hop, Dirty. Yes.
Well, and it's Lil Wayne, right? Yeah.
And it's Lil Wayne. But yes, it is a fantastic song. It's a heartbreak song, but what a great fucking song. So those are the 3 singles of the week. King ISO, Nas.
I
KSI.
saw YouTube is doing something now for new music. And best I can tell, it seems as though what they're trying to do is indirectly become a record company without having to sign them. It's kind of genius.
That's really interesting.
It's kind of genius. They have no investment, yet they're acting as a record company in a way. I don't like it, but it's genius on their part.
Especially if they're being sly with it like this. It's
artist.
A little under the radar right now.
Yeah, it's a new thing. I just saw it. I just read about it. You know,
are they doing distribution through them? Is it a distribution through YouTube?
Well, no. So I believe they're running this through YouTube Music.
Oh, okay, through the app itself.
I believe so, but I think I don't know what day it is. Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. But they're doing new singles, new artists, and but there's criteria. I believe you can't be under another management company. You can't be under contract. Or you can, but then you have to follow certain guidelines. It's a mess. If you're not an indie, it's a mess.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't really sound like it's going to be much of a benefit if you're
for the artist, right?
If you're not an indie. Now on the flip side, yeah, you can probably get some more ears on your music than you normally would have gotten, which is a great thing.
Always good, right? Yeah.
But there's always a cost to everything,
especially if it takes off. Then you're fucked.
Exactly.
If you have a hit on your hands right now, when you're not as secure, you're fucked.
You sell your soul to make it in the business, and then you end up having to pay for it with it. And that's the unfortunate reality for 99.7% of musicians trying to get their music heard. So
on that bright note, Dirty and I are working on albums.
We are. We're both working on albums and separately. And we're also, well, I don't know if I'd say we're working on an EP right now, but
we're going to be in the process.
We have plans for one.
Damn right.
No, actually,
we have a couple ideas too.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
We've got I've wrote some riffs, and we've talked about exchanged ideas and things like that.
And I'm getting a full Dirty production on my album, so there will be a song on there that's just an all Dirty production for sure. I got to get me that for sure. Enough about us. Enough about
sonically
us.
Amazing.
It'll be the best sounding song in the whole album. You better believe it.
Okay, move on.
All right, guys, that's all I have.
That's all we got.
That's all Dirty's got. Thank you guys so much for watching us every fucking week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this shit around like Dirty said. Hit us up on our socials, and we will see you here next Friday.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.